Hello, this is Linnell Brown, and I appreciate you joining me for this particular Chapter 17 presentation on digital audio. And we're going to be looking at some different components that go into this particular area of technology that deal both with the features that are provided, types of digital audio formats that exist, licensing dynamics, statutes, ASCAP, governing factors that influence how digital audio is transmitted and governed and under license. And we'll also look at some cutting edge technology as well with regard to digital audio. So thank you for joining me. We're going to look at our first slide together, which is why study digital audio. Now with digital audio, there are more than 500 licensed music services that are available presently to the consumer market worldwide, and this is for the purpose of digital streaming, downloads, etc. Approximately 28 million people, as it stands as of the printing of the book of our text, worldwide possess music subscriptions of some variety. That also may link into services such as iTunes, which is a very popular means of purchasing digital downloads for digital audio files or music or MP3s, etc. Revenues from music streaming have reached approximately 51.3% globally as far as the actual percentage that it has reached in popularity versus older or analog forms of music. Even compact discs, which were really the first innovation of digital audio, which came in a format of a disc versus the old school cassette tapes or 8-track tapes or LPs, or for any of you who are old enough to remember those were more analog in their presentation versus digital, which the compact disc introduced more of that digital age, and MP3s have only added to those aspects as a result of that. So digital audio is the current medium. It's the age of now, and continues to change with each and every passing year, it seems, and with each new device that becomes popular in the consumer market. Analog basically means similar or copy. It is ultimately the copy of an electronic copy of a wave, and whenever we hear analog, oftentimes we think, 1900s, because that's really where analog got had its most significant impact prior to the digital age. And audio format waves go from analog to digitized by the sampling of the strength of a traditional electronic sound wave, and it becomes digitized by capturing certain levels of that wave along the crest, from the base to the crest of the wave. So when you digitize a file, or it becomes the music or the information becomes formatted over to digital, it is literally capturing elements of that sound wave, if you will, that analog would just simply copy. Okay, once that happens, it enables the digitized format enables the wave, or the new wave that's actually been edited, if you will, to certain levels, to be compressed or adjusted and modified in size and its capacity to hold certain degrees of that process. So with that in mind, we're going to look in the process of what comes into play with this capture. Compact discs were the first innovation of digital that we saw firsthand in the late 80s. Rewritable discs, which became popular, CDR, CDRW formats, those also brought in the ability to write or rewrite specific format and music from disc or cassette formats over to a CD, a writable CD format. MP3s, which really got popularity with the innovation of the iPod, as well as other MP3 players, that also led into adding that enhancement of MP3 technology directly to our smartphone devices and beyond. Peer-to-peer sharing of music electronically, via internet, otherwise. Podcasting was another popular way, and this is something that's frequently used with talk programs, ministry programs, etc., where you can download or retrieve podcasts. This has really taken over a lot of what was more previously popular radio programming means of transmitting data, but now it's become more digital in these capacities. Copyright legislation, the Audio Home Recording Act of 1992 is one example we'll look at. We'll also look at the Digital Performance Right and Sound Recordings Act of 95, Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998. The Audio Home Recording Act of 92 basically is a legal statute that exempts a customer or a consumer who buys a compact disc or other form of media from potential lawsuits due to copyright infringement if they are making copies for non-commercial or non-marketing benefit. So if they're making a copy for themselves, then it would be permissible and it would not be subject to lawsuit actions taken against the owner of that product. Digital Performance Right and Sound Recordings Act of 95 covers interactive services, digital cable audio services, as well as satellite music and data transmitting services. It allows them, for services who own a copyright, it allows them to produce sound recordings again and again in order to transmit those services to their consumer base. So that governs that. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 98, it specifically amended the existing U.S. copyright law. Now the purpose is that it allowed the United States to engage globally with the World Intellectual Property Organization, because they are the organization that ultimately provides updates to the internet and maintain copyright standards that protect the interests of intellectual property on the internet media for digital information. So that was also another key form of legislation that governs the process of managing digital media and digital audio, both on the internet as well as by way of other means. Digital audio technologies, wireless digital media such as AT&T, eMusic, Mobile, Sprint Music Plus are some examples. Subscription-based services would be, some examples would be Beats Audio or Beats Music, Grooveshark, Pandora, Rhapsody, Spotify are all going to be examples of that type of medium for digital audio. Playlist and webcaster services are also another form. Cloud technology, Amazon Cloud, Google Play, iCloud with iTunes, Ubuntu One, music streaming could be another form that you look at with regard to that. These are all different types of digital audio formats that have enhanced our consumer product and what we have as consumers on a daily basis in the information age. So as we can see, the transition of audio from analog to digital has given a great deal more versatility and ease of access. So with this in mind, it's only going to continue to grow, particularly since we are no longer confined to a tape or a disc format in order to exchange information. So digital audio, why study digital audio? Really, this is an important topic because it will continue to govern the way in which we receive, accept, send, and process information in the future, both now and the future that lies ahead of us. And the change is rampant. It will affect us literally on a daily basis. The degree of change will only become faster. It will only become more frequent and more diverse. So it's important that we learn and study how to leverage the use of these types of sources. Thank you.